Committees, if people want to just show up, even if they're not part of the committee,
Yes.
they're more than welcome to.
Yeah, the thing is, it's good to sign up now because then you'll be on the email list for each committee, because we're not going to send out emails for every single committee to all of our members. So if you want to come to these meetings, please sign up, or if you want to be invited to these meetings even,
Yeah,
then sign up. So
Okay.
here's
Oh, sign.
Corey.
Full sign.
And if you know anyone else who may be interested, just let them know and send me an email and we'll add them to the list.
Yeah, great.
So I guess, is there anything else we can do?
You know what, we might send a newsletter out after this meeting, just posting what the committees were that were created to
Probably
give
a
people
good
an
idea, yeah.
opportunity in case they could make the
Yeah,
decision.
maybe stick it up on the Facebook and all that too as well.
Yeah,
So people can email about it.
yeah.
Okay, so I guess we'll leave it at that. Now, I don't know if we want a specific board member to take responsibility for the meeting, or do
We
want to
should,
decide that?
maybe we'll decide that at our first meeting, who wants to lead them. But can we sign up for the marketing committee as well? If anybody's interested?
Oh, yeah.
in-
Anyone, I would personally be very interested. Well, we already have.
Christine.
Aggie, could you send me the names of the other people involved in the
Sure.
email? So, because we
Sure.
just add them to the list, it's easier than me
Yeah.
writing them down now.
Okay, so are you writing their names now, or are you just?
I'm just gonna put you in your name brackets that you have to email me with the
Okay.
names. of your- Is there anyone else interested in the marketing committee?
Could you repeat that?
The marketing committee?
Marketing committee, yeah.
Yeah, fine. William. This is, again, it's the mailing list too, so if you wanna. Corey? Okay.
Okay.
Again, if anyone else changes their minds, just let me know and we'll do that for you.
Yeah.
So policies?
Yes, there are some policies that still need to be drafted, lots of policies that still need to be drafted. So the way the last board went about drafting these policies is we tried to hold a few policy meetings, kind of just spotty attendance. So at that point, we decided just to attempt to write the policies. None of the policies have so far, or very few of the policies have been approved, just because we want to get as many policies written as we can, send out a document, and then hold a big meeting that has questions and comments from everybody, and then we can pass all the policies and get them into action. So Fahim, like, what do you think are the most important policies that need to be drafted right now?
Right now,
Yeah.
we should definitely take a look through the policies that we've been using tentatively, which are the sponsorship policies governing equipment usage for productions, the membership policy too. I mean, all of them could look over. The ones that are currently in effect are the equipment and space policy, the sponsorship policy, and the membership policy, I believe.
Or the most pressing?
Something for the news department, like, you know, because that's very, very essential to establish the difference between editorial content and news reporting.
Yeah.
And staff are very uncomfortable, like, having to govern that ourselves. You know, we don't like saying no to people for their productions and stuff. And it'd be easier for us to be able to explain even what problems there are if we had a document that explained what problems to look for. The policy that Julian drafted for the finance committee, that's an important one because that's going to govern overall spending.
Do you think that needs to
that's
be
the
approved or edited?
I believe it needs to be approved. It hasn't been implemented in any way. It probably does need to be edited. Julian said that he wasn't necessarily certain that was the most. I would recommend just setting up a policy research committee.
Okay.
And this group of people are going to look at all policies, and not just policies, but the operating areas of CUTV, so that we can approach policy writing and work at the station in a way that is actually tangibly productive and is going to effectively deal with things that problems that we have been dealing with and we deal with on a day-to-day basis. And maybe that setting is better in a team that's working on it rather than a big room like discussing the policies and stuff like that.
Right.
And maybe reports could come out of these meetings.
Super. Will and Corey?
Yeah, we have a policy we
Yeah.
brought forward, read and voted today. It's a press pass policy.
Okay.
So if we could do that whenever it's convenient.
Do you want to present it now?
Oh, sure. Where is it? It's on the policy. It's on the Google document. Call up the press pass policy.
Maybe, I don't know if this is the appropriate time. Yeah, okay, whatever.
Okay, wait, which part of is part of this the regular policy that we have?
Well, this is how
Oh, press badge
policies will be
policy, there it
approved. Yeah,
is.
they'll be
Got
brought
it.
forward at a meeting,
That's
read
correct.
in and voted on, so I can.
Would you like me to read it, or the
Sure,
one that
go
was
ahead.
drafted on June 4th? That makes sense to you?
Yeah,
Do you want me to read
June
the whole
4th.
thing?
No, it was like 2 weeks ago.
Well, it was
That one
drafted
started-
June 4th. We
started that.
We edited it,
modified
It says
yeah.
first
Can I-
draft
can I
June
just-
4th.
The
Can
last
I just have a
edit, the
quick
last
look?
edit was September 26th.
Yeah,
That
that's
makes
it.
sense. That's us, yeah. Well,
I mean, if you see, if it sounds like the wrong one.
can I just have a
Yeah.
quick read and then yeah, you can go ahead and read it. Oh, yeah, baby. Oh, yeah, that's her.
Okay, so I'll quickly read it. So Community University Television Press Badge Policy, first draft June 4th, 2013. 1. Content and purpose. 1.1. All press badges are to be kept in the equipment room at the CUTV station located where we are located when in unuse, with the exception of personalized press passes, which the member can keep on their person. 1.2. All press badges should be identical in appearance. They must have the CUTV logo and must clearly identify the holder as a member of the press. The badge must also include legal information in the event of arrest or other complications. There's actually the comments here? I think
No.
there's comments.
Do we have a lawyer who's willing to be
Do
our
we?
go-to person?
That,
Is it possibly Denis Poitras?
no, it's
No
gonna
longer?
be
No, it can't be.
Etienne Poitras.
Etienne Poitras?
Etienne
Yeah,
Poitras.
so do you want me to?
It's not any relation. You can put that in or not, I mean, that's
well, it's
irrelevant to
fine,
the
I'm not
policy.
gonna
The
put it in.
policy states that there must be legal information.
Yeah. 1.3, personalized press badges may be given out to crew members and other producers. It may include additional information such as name, role, and photo of the member who holds it. 1.4, press badges must be taken out at the same time as equipment and worn on the member's clothing so as to be clearly visible. 2, privileges and access. 2.1, only CUTV members have access to press badges, and only when doing CUTV coverage. 2.2, they are to be given to members when they take out equipment for CUTV coverage. Each member involved in the shoot should receive one to be returned along with equipment at the end of booking. 2.3, before being issued, I think it might be slightly incomplete, because that's all it says.
That's a, yeah, it's fine.
Maybe one of you can go back
We have
and
the-
it just says before being issued, that's all. Sorry. Looks like a spider.
I don't know what that is.
Just a feather. No spiders in
There you
this room.
Carry
Whatever.
on, that's fine.
So you just got rid of it?
Yeah, just.
3 responsibilities. 3.1, all members wearing a CUTV press badge must behave in a professional and ethical manner. That's highlighted. I'm guessing that we should outline what exactly that means in our code of ethics. I think that's a comment left by Chico, so that is very true. 3.2, all members must take care of the press badge the same way as they would hold any other piece of equipment. 3.3, no member will visibly wear any political symbols or participate in a demonstration or other action if legal. Again, this is
Whether
complicated.
legal or illegal,
Even if legal or illegal?
or illegal. Whether illegal, legal or illegal.
Okay, 4, in case of legal complication. 4.1, CUTV members wearing the press badge are to identify themselves as press to law enforcement officials and ask to speak with media relations officer. 4.2, in case of detention, kettling, intimidation, verbal and or physical confrontation, and or arrest, the CUTV member should refer to the legal information on the back of the press badge. It is strongly recommended they call the lawyer identified on the back.
It might be a good idea to keep the media relations officer number
Yeah.
on that press badge. as
What
well.
I would also
That's a good
recommend,
idea.
if, like, assuming we
Not a bad idea.
I don't know how we do demonstrations now, but when during the student strikes, you
Yeah.
have someone on a cell phone, for
Yeah,
example.
yeah.
What was really helpful during the strikes, if you remember, is that if you were to contact directly through Twitter, the SVPM Twitter account, they would quickly release any press, because sometimes they're
Yeah,
quickly,
Yeah, Fair enough.
they would
we can
pass the
include-
message.
we
That
can
would
include
be
all that
another
on
way
the
to
badge.
communicate if it was such an event that's so large that
Sure,
there's
that-
rules.
that
So
sounds
that's
good.
another recommendation.
Là, on est sur le site de la Canada Malting. C'est une industrie, en fait, c'est une malterie qui a été fermée il y a environ 30 ans. C'est un des derniers vestiges industriels au bord du canal de la Chine qui n'a pas été converti en condo.
Do we want to, are we going to vote on this now, or
Mhm.
is there anybody?
Yeah, we
oh,
need
yeah.
to produce
We need
these
to-
passes.
I just have a little comment that needs to be taken into account of this, is that the badge doesn't protect you for anything, which means that if you try to film somebody who doesn't want to be filmed, there is still, it's not because you are press that you are allowed to film anybody. Like it's just, in terms of the law, even if you cover the news, if somebody doesn't want to appear in the news, this badge doesn't protect you from this person attacking you. Just to make sure that's
Any coverage, I mean, any coverage that you do, I mean, it doesn't, I have that.
Well, we could make a
That's-
large
that's
version with a couple of handles, maybe.
Well, okay, legally, you can film people.
Pretty
in
much
public.
anyone, yeah.
Yeah.
Just because they're holding their hand in front of their face doesn't mean that you can't film them. But
I have seen
yes,
some more
this badge
cases
does
there,
not
But that is not the policy.
protect you
That's
from
the
people
thing.
being jerks. No, it doesn't.
No, this policy just regards, the importance of this policy is at the moment, we really don't have press passes that we're issuing. Like, I think there are literally physically 2 in the building. And, yeah, we need to produce a new version of this and get on with this.
Personally,
Diane has a comment.
yeah, go for it.
We can have press passes ready any time to provide. Since the draft had been started, I've been stating that the problem is, for staff especially, what is the procedure for us to determine who can we give a press pass to and who can we not give a press pass to?
Well, it's
Isn't it
clear
in the
here.
policy?
It just says all crew members, pretty much.
No, it doesn't. It says producers and.
That's for the
live
personalized
films.
passes.
Oh, you.
No, but it says members when they go out on shoot. I mean, even a brand-new
So-
member who comes in
So all
must.
members.
Yeah, the temporary ones will be issued just for the time of the shoot. I mean, that's in the policy, and yeah, that would be the policy. But I mean, even if you're first week here, if you go out on a shoot, yes, you should be issued this to identify.
But you're only a full-fledged member after 2 weeks, right?
Or, well, sorry, okay, after your 2-week
Crew
thing.
member, like basically.
Okay,
Crew member
but-
is everyone up.
But,
Well, yeah, that's the thing. It doesn't say
Yeah.
member. It says producer or crew member.
Perfect. And that's where the general one, that solves the worry in my head. That's
Yeah.
awesome. And for the personalized ones.
it's only producers and.
Personalized will be giving, it says crew members and producers.
Well,
So
you can
again,
modify
all
that
crew
right
producers
now.
and all crew members can come and request a personalized press pass, which staff will produce and create and give
No,
to
that
them.
was my question.
Add
Is
the
this
words,
stuff
add the
producing?
words live
Maybe it's
stream
better if only producers
in
can
front
have
of
to
crew.
personalize.
And I think-
Who's gonna?
If we had the words live stream in front of crew, will that satisfy? Because I think that's what
What
was
is
meant
missing
by
is
that.
some kind of process, like the way we certify for equipment. We need to certify for going on air or for being a reporter or for being someone with a press pass, so that they understand the things that you've delineated in your policy. Like, for example, the producer workshop that I give, it's not so much, I talk about being a producer and video production in general in the various forms, but a lot of the workshop is more going over the different forms that we have here and the policies that govern the actions that they're going through. So we explain to them that in that workshop. That's the certification to be a producer, to use those forms and to incur
Okay, but
use of all
okay,
resources.
but to certify to be a producer, I mean, that's, I don't know, it's kind of
So would we
included in
include
there.
in our
This would be
producer
issued.
training
Right.
so that they know how to behave with one of these press passes?
So we'd have to take out the word crew member. Is
So-
that what you're saying?
You want to strike crew altogether. so
No,
just producer.
I mean, there's no code of ethics for us to teach.
Exactly, what are we teaching?
Like,
Who's
what are we
producing
certifying? What are we
the
checking?
physical?
I'm not comfortable passing this until we have our ethics code laid out.
Yeah.
And another thing is, just start thinking about it, who's gonna actually produce the things? Is the staff every time somebody asks, I have to personalize whatever, or?
I think it should be like a time or commitment level. I don't think that we should need to be like printing out personalized press passes for everybody who asks one. If you're gonna take out equipment, you're gonna be handed like the neutral press passes, so why
maybe
not?
we
So
Can we move
you
forward
do
with that?
understand that between now and then, we have nothing to issue nobody and no policy about nothing. You
And
get
we've been
that?
running with that for 5 months.
And that's
And
why I
that's
was
not
arrested. Are you
acceptable.
happy, or do you want to make movies?
Oh, this
It's not
is my fault.
acceptable.
It's not
but
your
it-
fault, but you're
It's
you're
not
blocking it
acceptable.
now, though.
Can we not, we can always amend this as we, is that not true? Just because we pass something doesn't mean it's written in stone. We can amend this as required.
I think that a code of ethics needs to be drafted.
I kind of agree with that. Can I make a proposal?
Yeah.
Can we meet in the middle
We move on.
and can we meet in the middle and try and come up with something at ASAP to pass that gives a general press pass with each equipment booking? That way they can take it out for their shoot, and the personalized press passes can wait until there's a code of ethics, because then there's the name being tied in rather than
I
someone
mean,
that's part of the
if you're
crew.
branded as CUTV, I think that there's like a certain code of ethics that you need to work under, whether it's got your picture on it or not. And CUTV has been embarrassed before by really, really poor journalistic ethics. And if we're trying to rebrand CUTV, if we're trying to market CUTV, if we're trying to turn the station around, then there needs to be some rules in place before we hand out people signifiers saying, I'm CUTV, and they're acting inappropriately. I think that,
I agree.
Isn't a
think
camera
there's
a
also-
signifier? That's my last word on the
Concerning this, I think there is just, right now when somebody go on a shoot, they have the camera with already the name of CUTV on it. So
Oh, boy.
just adding a press pass, I don't think it's gonna do much harm on
well,
the.
then maybe it's just pressure for us to get this code of ethics written.
Renting a camera is not the same as like having a pass saying that you're like able to be somewhere on behalf of CUTV. Just because you have their equipment doesn't necessarily mean that you're representing CUTV.
Because you can rent equipment from
Yeah.
any places, doesn't mean you're representing them.
What I want to say is basically come back to what you were saying, code of ethics, and as well as who we are when we go out and we we are covering the public basically, and this is like anything, whether it's events, news, whatever. There's a certain level of, because we are representing CUTV as members, we have to have some level of certification saying that yes, we are certified to be out there, we are certified to represent this. And this comes back to the topic where it could create some issues where there are some people who have, let's say if everyone goes outside now, everyone has different levels of experience, and it's causing some sort of problems between these groups, saying, well, yes, I am CUTV and this person is CUTV, but we are both doing something, different levels, different concepts, different ideas. Did you understand?
What we need is just a policy to
Yeah.
blanket.
In the meantime, what do we do? Because we're not giving anybody anything. We need something.
In the meantime, we draft a code of ethics, and then we'll start handing out those passes.
Can I just add something? I do think that maybe a compromise would be
In the meantime, we
necessary,
don't cover
because
anything on the
otherwise
street.
we can't cover those events
Voila.
just for the safety
There
of
we go, we
the
declare a
membership.
moratorium until we get this done.
Is that, you
Nobody
think
goes
that's
on the street.
reasonable?
Well,
You've been
without
covering
their
things without
protect,
press passes for a
and should I have been? I should put my face out there to get broken with nothing behind me. I should do that?
A press pass isn't gonna
You're saying
protect
because I
your
did that
face, Will.
before. It's better than nothing.
Mm.
And to say that
Think
because
about it,
our
is why
members
you guys
have been
were arrested
working
before?
without
They
this for
knew
so
that you
long,
were
they
working
can
for
continue
CUTV.
doing it?
And you know why they don't respect you working for CUTV? Because people for CUTV have a bad reputation for acting inappropriately. And that's why we need this code of ethics.
Okay, well, let's get it done. If we need to do this as a board, let's call a this kind of meeting, and let's do this, and let's get a date.
Great, let's do it.
Mhm.
That's why we're setting up the
All right.
policy.
Basically, we just need a paper that any member, before having a press pass, will sign saying, as a crew member of
Good
CUTV,
idea.
I accept this term, first term, second term, I will behave in a professional manner, I'm not allowed to do any harm to anybody or anything around me while I'm holding the CUTV
It's
name.
exactly
And
the kind of thing that needs
But
to be.
has that happened at any point?
Well, no, that's not
That's the
unreasonable
thing,
to
it's
sign
not
a paper to
unreasonable.
say
that's
so.
something that needs to be done, that should be existing already. If it's not, we have to do it as fast as
Yes.
possible.
They don't
That's a
even
very,
need to sign
that's
it.
a
We
very
add it to
fast
the
thing to do. It's only gonna take like a day or 2 days to draft it, then maybe after a week more to be able to approve it and make the necessary
But then you
change.
still have to describe what it is that is ethical matter when you're on a shoot. So Just because they're signing a paper, like everyone has different interpretation of what exactly ethical matters.
And within the
It's-
policies, then we need to come up with consequences for people who are not in professional image.
So can we have an ethical committee or something? Or maybe in the policies have an ethical subtopic?
I think that we just set up the policy committee, and this is the first thing that we
okay.
tackle.
It's a great
Yeah.
idea, it's
Yeah,
just,
that
it's
was-
just a matter of like taking the necessary steps in order to make sure that everything's gonna go smoothly and there's gonna be no more fires.
All right, I'll be satisfied with that, then, but it does need to happen quickly, because really, I have not been comfortable for a while, and I'm uncomfortable now without being able to issue something, and yeah, something, a way more decent press pass, like it or not, in the real world out there, it does provide you some effects.
Can I say something?
Yeah.
Yeah. Think like this. A press pass doesn't save you from anything. You
I-
can, wait.
Dude, I don't know.
Listen to what I'm saying. The code of ethics is something that you can refer to. You printing something fancy with a CUTV logo and the number of a lawyer doesn't give you anything. It doesn't matter if it's red, if it's blue, or if it's yellow. And if it has your name or not. If there's no thing to refer to, the press pass is just to, yes, there's a code of ethics and this person breached it or not for the organization, for the cops. It's just you with a printer and you just print something. Do you have that in... Do you
I
understand
have
the
no
difference?
idea I have no problem with getting away from that.
No,
'cause that's what
going
we've
to
done
cover
up till
things
now.
with a printable thing or not, it doesn't save you if you don't have a code of ethics that then if something happens, we can go to the police and say, look, but we have a code of ethics and he signed it and I know for sure that he's a responsible person and you treat him as not, you see, but you printing something for them is the same. Like this person printed this at home and now he's pretending this is a, you see what I mean? This is not a media outlet. This is not
Okay.
CTV.
Are you, okay.
Even if it was the CTV press pass, is just a thing that they print. It's like a membership card that we don't have. I think that's more important to track our membership than having a press pass that anybody can print with a logo of CTV. See what I mean?
So the idea here is to get an actual professional looking press pass that any asshole can print off a printer, because in the real world, like it or not, some pumped up on adrenaline 20-year-old in cop's armor is going to take one more second to swing that club. Even if he doesn't read who this is or anything, what he sees is something professional looking, and he thinks, ooh, I better
Do you
not
see
hit
what I
this
mean?
guy.
But it doesn't mean
Do you see
anything.
what I mean?
I understand
Yeah.
what you're saying, but you have to understand that that piece of paper is just a piece of paper that looks like it's professional, but it's not.
It's just a protective barrier for the
Exactly.
entire organization. It's-
I understand that we should have protection. I understand that. I think we're done here.
Yeah.
As long as we can get this done, I'm satisfied and we can go ahead and move on.
Okay. Who wants to volunteer for the policy committee?
Oh, absolutely.
I want to sign. Find out what's the same.
We're just gonna sign up right now.
Yeah, okay. Yeah.
I think we just need a week to be able to settle this. It's
I would
not a
think
long,
so,
it's not a long
I
step.
have
The easy
Lynn,
way, we
Ryan,
just look at
Corey,
how other companies are
Emily,
doing and
Antoine.
It won't take long, it's just a matter of doing it.
Howard.
All right.
Well, no, it's a good idea, it's just a matter of-
after printing like passes, I have a plastic
On the up and
printer,
up.
so this can be done like, this is not,
I understand.
it's-
What do your friends say when you tell them that you're a cleaner?
Not much.
In our society, a cleaner is way down the line.
I think a stereotype about people that clean professionally is that something has gone wrong in their professional life and this is something they've been forced into.
Often when I say I'm a cleaner, I'm saying it with everything in me.
So he asked me, what do? I said, a cleaner, and he started laughing.
There's something going on in the world that we need to clean.
Referendum committee.
Okay, we have a referendum